Hi students, welcome to online class. In this video, we are going to discuss about chapter 11 functions. Now we are going to see the next topic, use of void command. See, the void data type we already discussed in the chapter 9 itself. Void is a data type. Void means null. Void means null. Here we are going to discuss about this void data type. We are going to use the void data type for some functions. We are going to use the void data type for the functions. Then you might ask a question, sir, why we want to use the data type, void data type for the functions? See, whenever we declare the function, sometimes there is no return value for the function. So at the time we used to declare the function with void data type, that is with void as the return type. So the void command is used for that particular purpose. So here we are going to discuss about the use and then what is the purpose of void data type, where we are using, why we are using, like that we are going to discuss here. See here, void data type has two important purpose. Void type has two important purpose. First purpose is to indicate the function does not return a value. So now only I told you, whenever a function is not going to return any value to the caller, whenever the function is not going to return any value to the caller or not going to return any value to the main function, then that is called, there we can use the void data type. See, whenever we are using other than void, if I use integer or float or double, then I should use the return statement. Return statement should be given compulsorily. But whenever the function's data type or function's return type is void, then we can use the, whenever the function's data type is void, then we no need to use the return statement. So void data type does not going to return any value to the caller. It is not going to return any value to the main function. We can say like that. Then see the next point. To declare a generic pointer. What is mean by generic pointer? Generic pointer means whenever a variable is declared as pointer variable. For example, integer asterisk a. The asterisk symbol is used to represent that the variable is a pointer variable. If I say int a, it is an ordinary variable. But if I say int asterisk a, then that is called a pointer variable. So if I say int asterisk a, that is the a is a pointer variable belongs to integer data type. If I say void asterisk a, then that is called generic pointer. Can you understand, students? Whenever I declare a variable, instead of prefixing integer, float or double, instead of prefixing the variable's data type as integer, float or double, if I declare the pointer variable to the void data type, then that is called generic pointer. Can you understand, students? So void data type is used for two purposes. Whenever we declare the pointer variable as a void data type, whenever the pointer variable is declared to void data type, then that is called generic pointer. And then whenever the function does not return any value, whenever the function does not return any value to the caller or does not return any value to the main function, then we can use the function's data type as void. Can you understand, students? Right. See here, void data type indicates the compiler that the function does not return a value, or in a larger context, what they are trying to say, it is not going to return any value. In a larger context, if I say in a simple word, void indicates that it holds nothing, it does not have anything. So we can say in simple words, null. Void means null. So that is what they are saying. Void data type indicates the compiler that the function is not going to return any value. In simple words, we can say that it holds nothing. Void data type holds nothing. In another way, we can say that void means null. Void means null. Can you understand, students? Now see this example. When you see this example, then you can understand. From this example, what can you understand? So void is the data type. Void is the data type. And then fun is the function name. Fun is the function name. Because they have given parenthesis. Whenever parenthesis is given, from that we can understand that this is a function. Whenever the parenthesis is given, then we can understand that that is a function. Whenever square bracket is given, then we can understand that it is called array. It is called array. So from this we can understand that fun is the function name. Fun is the function name. And then void is its data type or return type. Void is its data type or return type. And then inside the parenthesis, there is no parameter. There is no parameter is given. So that's why they are given void. That's why they have given void. So fun is the function name, and then void is its return type, and then it does not contain any parameter. So that's why they have given void. See here they have given the explanation. The above function prototype tells the compiler. The above function prototype tells the compiler that fun function neither receives values from the calling program, neither receives value from the calling program, nor return a value to the calling program. So it is not going to receive any value from the calling program, that is calling function, and it is not going to return any value to the calling function. So the value is not passed to this function, and then no value is returned to the main function. Can you understand, students? No value is passed to this function, and then no value is returned to the main function, that is calling function. So that is what here they are trying to say. There is no parameter, so they are given as void, and then the function is not going to return any value. The function is not going to return any value. So that's why they are given void. Can you understand, students? So now we are going to see the next topic, accessing the function. How can we access the function? How can we call the function? How can we call the function? How can we access the function? See here, the user defined function should be called explicitly using its name and the required arguments to be passed. So whenever you want to access the function, how can I access the function? For example, I can say in simple words, see, whenever a teacher want to call a boy, whenever a teacher want to call a boy or a girl, how can the teacher will access the boy or girl? So the teacher, he used to call the boy or girl with his name, his or her name. So the student can be called by the name. Whenever the name is used by the teacher, then automatically the student will turn back. The attention will be given to the teacher, and then the student will ask, ma'am, what I want to do? What I want to do? What is the work I want to carry? Like that the student will ask. So, like that, whenever I want to access the user defined function, whenever I want to access the function using its name, I can access the function. So that is what they are saying. The user defined function should be called explicitly. Explicitly means we want to call. So it is not an implicit one. It will not call automatically. We only want to make a call. So user defined function should be called explicitly using its name. So whenever the function name is used, then automatically the function is called. Whenever the function name is used, then automatically the function will be called. So whenever we are using its name, we should use not only its name, we want to pass the required arguments. So the required argument should be passed, and then we should use its name to call that particular function. Then see the next one. The compiler refers to the function prototype to check whether the function has been called correctly. So the compiler will check whether this function is available or not. Whether the function is inside the program. Like that it will check. Not only it checks the function, it also checks whether the arguments are also passed in a correct manner or not. So like that the compiler will check. By using its function prototype. Whether the function has been called correctly or not. Right? See here. So if the argument type, so whenever we are calling the function, we should use its name, and then we should use the arguments. We should pass the arguments. So the compiler will check whether the function is available or not, and then whether the arguments are passed in a correct manner. It will check. If the function contains two parameters, but whenever we are calling the function, we are passing only one argument, so that will not match. Whenever we are calling the function, that function can be called by two arguments, because the function is defined with two parameters. So we want to pass two values, two arguments, but we are calling the function with only one argument. Then the compiler will throw an error message. Why? Because that function contains two parameters, but you are calling with only one argument. The function does not match. So like that, if the argument type also is not matching, for example, the function contains two parameter or two arguments. So both of them are integer. Or both of them are floating type, any data type. If the data type also does not match, then what will happen? If the argument type does not match exactly with the data type defined in the prototype, whenever the argument does not match exactly with the data type defined in the prototype, the compiler will perform the type conversion. What is mean by type conversion? Means the data type will be converted to one data type will be converted to another data type. So in the last lesson itself we have studied that there are two conversions are there. One is implicit type conversion, and another one is explicit type conversion. So from that you might have understood this. So whenever we are calling the function, we should pass the arguments in a correct manner. If the function contains 2 arguments, we should pass only 2 arguments. If the function's data type is both of them are integer, means we should pass the arguments as integer. We should pass both the arguments as integer. So if you are passing in a correct manner, then there will be no problem. There will be no error. But if there is 2 integer value, if you are passing character data type, if the 2 parameters are integer data type, but you are passing only character data type, then automatically the data type of the arguments does not match. The data type of the arguments does not match. Then it will perform type conversion. If it is possible, it will go for type conversion. So data type, character data type will be converted to integer data type. If it is possible, it will convert. But if the type conversion is not possible, then compiler will generate a error message. Can you understand, students? So whenever we are passing the arguments, the data type also should match. If the data type is not matching, then it will go for type conversion. If type conversion is possible, the compiler will convert the data type from one data type to another data type. But if type conversion is not possible, it will throw an error message. It will throw an error message. Can you understand, students? Now you see here in this program. So in this program, you can see a simple example for how the function is called and then how the arguments are matching. Now you see here hash include IO stream using namespace std. Then after that you see here, so this is function definition. This is function definition int sum. Int sum. So sum is the function name. Sum is the function name and then its return type is integer. Its return type is integer. So there should be a return statement. There should be a return statement should be there. So they have given return statement. Return x plus y. Return x plus y. So the sum function contains how many parameters? The sum function contains 2 parameters. One is int x, int y. So sum is the function name and then it contains 2 parameters. One is x and another one is y. So now when you come to the main function, int main. Now they are declaring 2 variables int ab. Now they are declaring 2 variables int ab and then they are getting the input from the user. They are getting the input from the user. Now you see in this last line, the function is called here. See here, the function is called here and then they are passing 2 parameters, 2 arguments. They are passing 2 arguments, sum of a comma b. Now this program will not show any error. Why? Because the function is called using its name. The function is called using its name. And then how many arguments are passed here? 2 arguments are passed, a comma b. Now when the compiler checks the function, the sum function contains 2 parameters. One is called x and another one is called y. Both of them are integer data type. Both of them are integer data type. So the arguments match with the function definition. The arguments matched with the function definition. So there will be no error. The function will be called in a perfect manner and then the program will be, the function definition will be executed. The function will be called and then the function definition will be executed, will be processed. So the program will not show any error. The program does not show any error. For example, now you see here I can show in a practical manner. So start Dev C++. So already I copied the program. So Control plus N and then Control plus V. So after pasting the program, so I want to save the program. So Control plus S. Control plus S is the shortcut for saving the program. So Control plus S. So accessing the function. Accessing the function. So press enter key for saving the program. So after correcting the program, now you see here when I press F11, so now the main function is executed. So now it is asking me to enter the number 1. It is asking me to enter the number 1. So I am giving 2. Then it asks me to enter the number 2. If I give 3, now what will happen? So the 2 will be assigned for the variable A. 2 will be assigned for the variable A, and then 3 will be assigned for the variable B. 3 will be assigned for the variable B. So now 2, 3 is passed to the function sum. 2, 3 is passed to the function sum. See here, sum of A, B. Sum of A, B. So sum of A, B means sum of 2, 3. So now 2, 3 comes to the function definition. 2 is assigned to X and then 3 is assigned to Y. Then automatically return X plus Y. So 2 plus 3, it shows 5. Now see here. So now I have entered the value. When I press enter key, now the value, what is the value returned? The sum is equal to 5. The value sum is equal to 5. So the value 5 is returned from the function definition. The value 5 is returned. So from this place, the value 5 is returned. From this place, the value 5 is returned, and then the value comes here. Can you understand, students? See, instead of that, for example, if I call the function, instead of passing 2 arguments, I am passing only 1 argument. Now you see this program, whether the program executes, no, it shows error. See here. So the error is shown here. Error. See the error. Too few arguments to the function. So only few arguments I have given. I didn't pass all the arguments. Only few arguments are given. The other few arguments are missing. So arguments are missing. From this we can understand. Only few arguments are given. We want to give more arguments. Can you understand, students? So I should pass in a correct manner. Then only it does not show any error. The program will execute. So whatever the value I give, the value will be processed. So 45 plus 89. So 45 is assigned to A, 89 is assigned to B. Then 45 is passed to X, 89 is passed to Y. Then both the values are added together. So 40 plus 80, 120. 5 plus 9, 14. So it shows 134. Can you understand, students? Right. So now you can see the examples for calling the function. Whenever we are calling the function, we can call by 4 ways. We can call the function by 4 ways. So what are the 4 different ways we can call the function? We can simply call the function by its name alone. We can call the function display using its name. So calling the function without a return value and without any argument. So here no argument is passed. No argument is passed. Just we are calling the function alone. So no return value. The value is also not returned. So display function is called. Then see the second example. Here we are calling the function display and then we are passing the argument x, y. We are passing the argument x, y. So calling the function without a return value, but we are passing the argument. So with the argument. Calling the function without return value and with the arguments. Can you understand, students? First example, we are calling the function alone. We are not passing any argument. So no return value. So no argument. Then see the second one. Calling the function, we are passing the argument but no return value. So calling the function without return value and with the argument. Then see the third one. So x is equal to display. So why I am calling the function? Whenever I am calling the function, why I am assigning to a variable? Because whenever I call the function will be processed and some value is returned there. Whenever I am calling the function will be called and some value will be returned. That value should be stored in X. That value should be stored in X. So here see that calling the function with the return value. The return value is stored in X, but without any argument. We just called the function alone, but we didn't pass any argument. But value is returned from the function definition. The value is stored in X. The value is stored in X. Then see the last example. X equal to display X comma Y. X equal to display X comma Y. In this example, we are calling the function with return value and with the argument. So we are passing the argument X comma Y, and then the value is passed to the function definition, and then it is processed, and then it is returning the value. The function is returning a value and it is stored in X. And it is stored in X. Can you understand, students? So I hope you might have understood this video. What is the use of void command and how to access the function. So let's end the class. So thank you, students.